Good morning. Namaste. Peace be with you. So this morning we move on to our final triad of our passion, purpose, and peace, and we're moving on to peace. Now, you might think, what on earth does peace have to do with passion, and what on earth does peace have to do with purpose? Because actually, the energy of peace seems very at odds with the other two more dynamic, go-getting, fired up energies. Peace is more like a water element feel, and fire is passion, and purpose is more like a fire element feel. And it is absolutely perfect in our world is that it does need the balance, and in order to control fire we use water. In that way, if you just do nothing but passion and purpose and get out there, if you know people like that, they burn themselves out. They end up unwell or unable or with some sort of chronic fatigue. So it's really important that we honor all the elements that come together that make our life a balanced, purposeful, and passionate life. So that is true that peace is what helps balance our passion and our purpose. But that's not really what I'm talking about here for you to try and cultivate peace in that way. Oh, I need to be peaceful because I've been too passionate. But actually, as peace as being the direct, I'm losing the word, it's not coming, effect or the thing that comes out of having passion and having purpose in a balanced way. So we want to keep our yoga practice up. We want to perhaps do some meditation, some contemplation, some journaling to make sure that we continue to be aligned. But let's face it, peace is what you get after you've done a satisfying hard day's work. Peace is what you get when you have done a job really well, or you've been part of something that you really enjoyed. You come home from that experience, say you've been out in your singing group or your art group or something that you might be passionate about, and you come home and there's that underlining sense of satisfaction, and satisfaction does bring us peace. If we focus on things that are important to us in our life, its knock-on effect is that we feel at peace. If there's something that disturbs us, that makes us feel uncomfortable in life, like there's many things maybe that are being done that are a little bit disturbing. If you act upon it, if you act in alignment towards, helping that situation or issue come to a more peaceful conclusion, or come to a place where you feel more comfortable with it, what you think is benefiting not just you, but also the greater whole, then that action brings you peace. If you know that you were impeccable with your thoughts and words in certain situations, that your actions came from the right place, from a place of heart, from a place of alignment, then what we feel about that situation, even if it didn't work out the way we wanted to, is peace. We feel peaceful. So it's this living in alignment that gives us this beautiful underlining foundation feeling in the body, that the mind and the nervous system can rest more in peace because you know you did what was right for your values, for your beliefs. And when we live our life from that, with that joy and passion and enthusiasm, then peace comes. Peace comes. And when we're at peace with ourselves and our actions in the world, we begin to have a natural upwelling of gratitude. And when you start feeling gratitude, even for the toughest situations you've got going, even when something difficult comes up and you're like, thank you for this beautiful opportunity to practice, my alignment in life, to practice being okay with, whatever, then that gratitude energy has a way of bringing everything you need in life to you. Everything in timing, but everything you need, you will receive when you need it and as you need it. And this is how this passion, purpose, peace lines up to open up to a deep sense of gratitude for life. And when you are grateful for your life, for all your opportunities, and even maybe difficulties, then life gives you everything you need. Sometimes we want more. That's a different story. But yes, so we come to practice this morning in peace and focusing on a peaceful approach to our practice. So let's get started. All right, so we're going to come onto our mats. I'm going to change my camera. We're going to, I need to adapt this a little bit more, hopefully. No animals this morning. Neither of them wanted to join me in yoga. Very unusual. All right. So we're going to start in the peaceful child pose. You might like a couple of blocks or at some point in the class, maybe not all of you, but yeah, you might like. So just have them somewhere available in case you think you might need them. And we're going to start in child's pose. Now this could be done either hands or fists stacked on top of each other and forehead resting, or hands can be alongside the feet with the forehead resting on the ground. I'd like you to take 3 deepened breaths and breathe in through the nose, into the back body, and out through the mouth, releasing all your tension and or sleepiness, perhaps. Let the whole body rest. Rest down into the earth, rest into its shape. Let the forehead rest on whatever support you need. Again, I guess you could use a block here as well, if you prefer the hands by the feet and the forehead rests with comfort on the floor. But this resting the forehead can really begin to quieten down the frontal brain and give us a more peaceful place with our thoughts, reducing and slowing the thoughts down. Sinking in with the breath. You might even be able to activate your Ujjayi breath. Again, Ujjayi, the victorious breath, the oceanic breath, incredibly powerful for calming the nervous system and quietening the mind. This is the partial closing of the epiglottis, where we feel like we're breathing directly into the throat, in and out of the throat, and it gives our breath the feeling and the sound of a light snore. And then as you're ready, we're going to roll up, bringing the arms up over our head on the inhalation. So just coiling in and rolling up on an inhale, arms coming out and then up over your head. Palms gently meet over, maybe a little lift in the chin, and we exhale, bringing the back of the thumbs to our third eye. And then down to our hearts, and all the way down to our feet again as we fold. So we're going to try and do that in one breath for 3 rounds. So inhaling, we just need to make that a little quicker. Hands meet overhead. Exhale, hands shower down. Folding. And inhale, rising. Hands meet. Exhale, folding. And last round, inhale, rising. Exhale, hands come to the forehead. Let them linger there for a moment. Tuck your chin in and let the hands drop to the heart. And for a moment, let your lips touch the tops of your fingers. And then we're going to inhale and rise off our buttocks, coming up to what I call standing knees. Reach the hands up and lift the heart towards the sky. And as you exhale, you're going to take your hands to the floor. You can separate your knees now so they come in directly under the hips if you haven't already done that. And just before we go anywhere, just lift your feet and rotate your ankles in both directions, releasing any tension in the ankles, some peace. Shake them out if you like, and then as you are ready, we inhale and roll the sit bones up, open your heart and lift your chin. As you exhale, draw the navel in, begin to drop the head and tail, press the floor away from you with your hands, release the head completely, a little wobble from side to side of the head if you like. And then inhale, just making this your own if you like, following me if you like, rolling the sit bones, lifting hearts, chin. And as you exhale, suck that lower navel in, drop the head and tail, press the floor away from you, hold there for a moment as you press your sit bones in towards your face, hands into the floor, crown towards the ceiling, towards the floor. And swing your chin from side to side to release any tension in the back of the neck, shoulders. Inhale, rising back up. And then this time as we exhale, we're going to walk those hands further away, well out in front of us. And drop the heart down. So we're going to do this with one breath soon, but obviously here, not this time around. And then we're going to inhale and tuck the tail under, round a little back up into, sort of like a half plank, half cat. And then exhale, roll the sit bones up, drop the heart down. And repeat it. Inhale, rolling up, halfway, just massaging through the spine, the neck, the shoulders. Sit bones roll up, heart drops down. And if you can hold there for a moment. Maybe the head is just in mid-air, we're pressing the hands into the floor. Maybe the forehead can make it down to the earth, or maybe your heart and chin can make it down to the earth, with the elbows coming down to the floor as well. And then again, dragging your hands towards your knees on an inhale, rolling all the way up again into kneeling prayer. Hands meet overhead, and maybe you can watch that union. Keep the tail long and the heart slingshotting to the sky. And as you exhale, once again, arms wide like a Sunday morning stretch, Sunday morning yawn. Hands come shoulder distance to the floor. We tuck the toes under and use the, inhale or exhale, wherever you're at, to lift your hips up. And let's just walk in peace, walk our dog in peace, pedaling the feet from side to side, opening up the back of the legs, wagging your tail if you like. And then we're going to drop the right knee across the front of the left and pull the left hip away from you towards the right, and really try to activate that left hand into the earth. And then change it out. So high on your heels, swivel your feet back to the center, and then that left knee is going to come across the right knee as you drop the right heel down. Pull the right hip away from you. Press the right hand into the floor and open the right gate of the body with your breath and with your stretch. And then inhale, lift the heels, swivel back to the center, and exhale into downward facing dog. Heels coming towards the earth. If you need your knees to be nice and bent to really access the spine, please do. And then we just begin to slowly open those legs, maybe one at a time, maybe together, heels drawing towards the earth. Maybe you want a little pulsation here. And then just stretching your best, pushing the floor away from you, lengthening the tail and crown away from each other. Hands press into the earth and then pull towards the hips. Sit bones roll up towards the ceiling and then pull down towards the heels, towards the earth. And then just begin to walk your hands in towards your feet. So we're coming towards the back of our mat, plenty of mat space in front of us. And then you can just roll it out there, whatever feels nice to release through the shoulders and neck there. And you might like to bend one knee and then the other to rock from left to right sides. Release the head completely. You might like to turn your chin from left to right. You could also take your hands into the creases of your elbows and let the elbows hang towards the earth and swing from side to side. Lots of different options here, so please feel into what feels really nourishing and peaceful and radiant for you. Comfortable, let's be comfortable today. Release the hands to the earth and then bend the knees quite deeply and then press the feet into the floor so you can push yourself up like a ragdoll. And then just allowing the knees to remain a little bent as the hands come up and over the head, reaching up. You can straighten the legs there when you're ready. And as you exhale, I need to bring you back just a little bit. I don't know why the camera is a little different today. Yeah. Bringing the hands back to the heart if you're not already there. Make peace here. Let there be peace, shanti, shanti, shanti through your whole body. Breathing in. Any movement, any little wriggling, any little rotations, and you might like to actually rotate through the wrists, which is something I did mean to do, but I went and changed the camera instead. So we're going to just roll the wrists out. Want to make sure they remain comfortable as we come into our peace. Namaskar. I can't, just losing words this morning. I'm a bit sleepy, but I don't know why. New moon energy. So maybe we are feeling nice and peaceful, right? Perfect new moon energy for this. And feeling that inner peace, but sometimes it's then harder to articulate and come out. So I'm in that frame, so please forgive me. But we're going to work with our Shanti Namaskara, so the peace salutes that we're going to work with this morning. So hands start at the heart, and we simply close our eyes and invoke a prayer or an intention or a dedication to yourself or to your passion, to your purpose, to something that you want to see come into the world, to be birthed into the world And we are really going through a birthing process collectively, globally, right now, spiritually. So tap into that, feel into what you would like to dedicate your moving prayer to. And then we inhale and reach the arms up and over our head. And exhale to fold, leave the heart, soften the knees as you go. Hands come to the floor, and that next inhale is a half lift, but we walk the hands all the way into a plank on the exhale. You can bring the knees on the inhale. Then you can bring the knees down and your body down on the exhale. Lay your entire body down on the floor, get comfortable here, and we use that next inhale to take the arms out wide and bring them overhead into prayer on the floor. Forehead comes to the floor, and here we offer our intention, we offer our prayer, we offer our dedication with 2 to 3 deep breaths in prayer. And then on an inhale, bring your hands in under the shoulders. You might like to come through a little back bend. And then as you exhale, tuck the toes under and push all the way back into downward facing dog. Then the inhale as we walk the hands back to the feet, half lift, and the exhale as we fold. Soften the knees as much as you need to release the head completely. The inhale as we roll up like a rag doll, the arms coming out and up and over our head. And the exhale as we bring our hands first to the forehead, third eye, and then to the heart. And then we inhale again, reaching out and up. And we exhale to fold, leave the heart, soften knees. We inhale half lift, but walk all the way into your plank. And we exhale, you can drop the knees and lower the grip to the earth. Get comfortable. Inhale, arms come out and over our head into prayer. And exhale to completely relax in peace here on the earth. Another 1 or 2 breaths as you incite your prayer, your dedication. Use the inhalation to bring your hands in under your shoulders and rise to the back. And as we exhale, tucking the toes, coming back up into downward facing dog, knees lifting off the floor. Inhale as we walk our hands back into standing and half lift. The exhale as we fold over the thighs, releasing, pouring ourselves down to the earth. And then you can roll up like a rag doll. You can come up reverse swan now with a bit more action, a bit more activity. Hands meet overhead. Heart opens to the sky and exhale. Fingers first, thumbs first to the forehead and then down to the heart. Inhale, rising out and up. Exhale, folding, heart beating, knees soft. Inhale, half lift and walk forward into plank. Exhale, offer your strength to the earth. Inhale, hands coming out and up and over. Exhale to rest in peace and prayer. And then we inhale, hands in under the shoulders. Open your heart in the back bend. And exhale to draw back into downward facing dog. Inhale to walk the hands towards the feet with a half lift at the end. And the exhale to fold into yourself, honoring the earth. And inhale, coming up your way, reverse swan or rolling up ragdoll. Exhale as we bring the thumbs first to the third eye and then to the heart. Rest in peace and inhale. Off we go again. Looking up, lifting up, reaching, and exhale, diving down through the center. Completing the fold, and then inhale, rise again as you walk your hands into plank. Offer your strength to the earth or to your prayer, your intention. And then inhale, hands out and up into prayer. Exhale to rest in peace and in prayer. And then inhale under the shoulders as we rise into a back bend with your choice. And as we exhale all the way down, back into Adho Mukha Savasana. Inhale to walk your hands towards your feet, the half lift. Exhale to fold and soften wherever you need to. Inhale to rise with joy and gratitude, heart opens. Exhale, thumbs to third eye and then to the heart. And again, inhale, rising, opening, reaching. Exhale, folding, releasing, surrender. Inhale, awaken, walk forward with confidence. Exhale, lower yourself down and offer your gifts. Inhale as the hands come overhead. And exhale as you rest in peace and prayer and dedication. Hands come in under the shoulder on an inhale as we rise into a back lift. And as we exhale, pulling back into down facing dog. Use that next inhale to walk back to your feet. Half lift and the exhale to fold. Coming up your way, inhale with joy, with hope, with offering. And exhale, coming home to the heart, and we will just do one more round. Inhale, rising, slingshot your heart to the sky. And as you exhale, draw it back down to the earth. Inhale, open it up and let you take you in the direction forward. Exhale, offer your strength and your heart to the earth, to your dedication. Inhale, hands up and over into prayer. Exhale, resting in peace here. Your dedication, your commitment, your passion, something you're willing to serve. Breathe into it. Breathe into your heart. Breathe into your commitment. And allow your body to feel a sense of inspired peace. You might like to roll the head, the forehead from side to side. And bring it back to the center. Bring your hands in back under the shoulders and rise in a back bend suitable for yourself this morning. And as you exhale, begin to pull back into downward facing dog. And once again, we can just take our time there. It's getting a little comfortable here. Wagging the tail, releasing any tightness, any resistance. And then that next inhalation as we walk our hands back to the feet with our half lift. And exhale as we pour ourselves over our thighs. Releasing any overthinking, any dissidence, any irritation. And then coming up your way, maybe the end product will be a roll up, maybe a straight cut for you. And then arms come out and up as we watch the union of the left and right sides of our body come together overhead. And as we take another exhalation, we can straighten the legs if they're not already and bring our thumbs to our forehead once again. And let the thumbs drop down to the heart. And once again, tucking that chin in so then the lips can meet your fingertips. Our thoughts, our words, and our actions, they matter. They all matter. And when we get this alignment right, then there is the natural evolution product of peace. So we're going to now inhale, lift your right knee up as the arms come up and over your head. See if you can find peace in this slightly difficult balancing moment. Maybe you want to rotate your ankle a couple of times to release any tension caught up in there. And then, and then we inhale, reach, and bend that left knee as you begin to step that right foot out. Bring your hands to your heart and step quietly and peacefully forward into an upper lunge. That next inhale is going to lift us up a little, lift the back heel, hips, and hands up overhead. Leave the hands there, and as we exhale, we just sink down into the posture. Just be peaceful, not aggressive. There's no aggression or ambition in this morning's practice. We're just letting the body guide us beautifully into practice here. Take one more breath as you kick into that back heel, slingshot the heart through your shoulders. Reach the hands up and maybe even a little back. They can be directly up. But if you've got the openness in the shoulders and the chest, then you can begin to draw them back so you're like a slight bowing shape. This is a back bend, so be careful with the lower back. If there's issues, you can bend the back knee in support. Otherwise, inhale. Maybe some of you can lift your chin up and gaze at the beautiful sky, starlit sky, because we are a new moon, so beautiful for stargazing. And then as you exhale, I want you to come forward and down, straightening that front leg a little bit. This is where blocks could be super handy for you. So it's a bit of a stretch. And we're going to then just simply step that back foot in and out towards the left a little bit and drop the heel in. So our heel is, that back left heel is in line with the left hip. The front left heel is in line with the right hip. So it's hip distance with the heels. We're going to do a little half lift. And as you half lift, I want you to press that front foot into the floor and then reach it back up into its hip. So the thigh bone comes back into the hip socket. And as we do that, we lengthen the tail and the crown away from each other. And then if you can, you're just going to see if you can bend your elbows and fold a little more fully over that. Right front leg. Pull that right hip back if the hips come out of alignment. And then we're going to inhale and scoop up from the lower belly into the heart and reach back up. Hands come up overhead. And as we exhale, the hands are going to come wide and back behind us, behind our back. Sneaky back prayer with the hands. Can we bring the palms of the hands together and bring them either just to the lower back? Some of you might be able to go further up, but it doesn't matter. And if that's unavailable to you, maybe you can grab hold of your elbows, maybe you can grab hold of your wrist, maybe you would just have your hands on your hips. They're all the different options. So please take what's suitable for you. Once again, as we press both feet into the floor, we're going to keep the tail long. So you might need to be a little soft on that back knee if you've got lower back issues, or don't lean back too much. But press those hands if they're in prayer back into the back heart space, so it helps lift the heart and opens it. Maybe you can look up and then use the exhalation to guide yourself down, drawing that lower navel back in towards the spine and coming forward. Maybe you want to get halfway and you think, holy dooly, this is so peaceful. Okay, we'll soften the knee a little bit at the front if you need to, otherwise you can fold fully over it, or just have the hands at the hips and do what you need to do to make this available to you. Breathing. Remember, peace at the end of the yoga class is often more pronounced after vigorous action. But we are doing more peaceful poses here. Forward bends, forward folds. Simple, slower actions can be helpful. Longer holds also. Right, so you're going to half lift up and release those hands away from you. You can take them to your blocks or either side of the foot. We're going to turn the feet so they face the length of your mat. And you can just keep your left hand in front of the right foot or somewhere around that area, either on a block or just onto the floor or fingertips, and then turn to lift the right arm up. And this is a twist, but we're not keeping the hips straight in this twist. So it's just twisting to the right, left hand in front of that left foot or right foot or thereabouts, and lifting that right arm up. Take another breath as you reach from fingertip to fingertip. And then as you exhale, you can draw that right arm back to the floor. Begin to bend the left knee and stretch the right leg. So the feet are staying in line where they are. We're just doing a little side stretch here. And then walk forward and back into the front, and then we're going to step back into downward facing dog. So step the right foot back to the left. Take a moment where you just stretch out the whole body. The downward facing dog pose is a pose of rest, so try and find that bhava, that feeling space here in the dog, and then begin to walk your hands back towards your feet. You might like to take a little half lift there, little wag of the tail, and then fold back down. Release the head. Do anything that you need to do to become comfortable. And you can roll up or come up with a flat back and reverse swan, your choice. Inhale all the way up. And exhale, hands to the forehead. And then to the heart. Take a moment as you experience the left and right sides of the body. Peace is a lot about balance. And balance isn't stillness, balance is quite dynamic. It's never just balance and then your job is done. Balance is a constant conversation. And I'm just looking at it a little bit briefly now as the left and right sides of the body, the left and right energies, the masculine and feminine energies need to be in balance. And there's a huge imbalance collectively in our culture. It's very masculine based. And what we're going through at the moment is this huge transfer of weight to integrate more fully the power of the feminine. It's not about feminine energy ruling. It's about feminine energy coming to sit beside the masculine in partnership. So you can think about that in terms of your own body. So once again, we inhale, take the hands forward and up or directly up and lift the left foot with you, left leg with you. And just take a moment there as you find your balance. Maybe you like to release that left ankle. I love to do this. And then really root down through that right leg, lift through the left and lift up into the hands. Take one more breath as you pull down, root down and lift up at the same time. Bend the right knee and begin to guide that left foot forward and the hands back to the heart as we step peacefully into our lunge pose. Next inhale is going to rise everything back, heel the hips and the hands a little bit, hands all the way overhead. And then exhale, sit back in peace into the posture. Please wriggle your feet, wriggle your posture, your alignment until it feels juicy and comfortable for you. And then you might be able to begin to slingshot the heart a little more forward, begin to arc back and toward the back leg with the arms, and just keeping safe through the lower back if you're doing that. And if it's available, you could lift your gaze as well. So we're really coming into a very dynamic, open-hearted bow shape in our lunge. Inhale, one more breath. And as you exhale, you can bring your hands back down. Oh, we're going to bring them all the way down, maybe to the blocks, maybe to the floor. We're going to step the right foot out a little to the right and in towards the other foot, in towards the center a little bit more. So your width isn't as, the stance isn't as wide. And then drop the heel down. The heel is in line with the hip in both feet. So they're hip distance from the heels. And then we just fold over our leg again, just in preparation for the next deeper expression of this pose. See if you can pull the hip back and release the head down, keeping the hips as even as possible and being as much in that back foot as you can. And then scoop up from the belly to the heart, press that front foot into the floor, bring the hands back up and overhead now with that back heel grounded. And as we exhale, the arms come wide and we bring our hands behind us. If you can, we're bringing them into prayer behind us, reverse prayer, or you grab hold of your ankle, wrists or elbows. See what you've got, or even hands on hips is also something you could do. Begin to open the heart, suck that lower navel in, draw it up towards your solar plexus, and from the solar plexus up into the heart, lift from the heart into the chin, lift your gaze, and then on an exhale, begin to fold down forward, seeing what you've got. You might need a little stop halfway, pull that front hip back, and then on that next exhalation, seeing what you've got. Folding over that front left leg, just being nice and steady here. I know it's a bit of a challenging posture. Do not do this enough in class, in my classes. It's quite an enjoyable one, but challenging posture. Okay, so inhale a little half lift. You're going to release those hands out, and then we're going to turn our feet, make sure that they're even. And we leave the right hand in front of that left foot. Is it? Yes. And then we inhale with the right arm up. And note that this isn't the more classical style of the Paritta Karani, the twisting the variation, but it's a more accessible in some ways and just easygoing, peaceful way of being. So that right hip may have dropped as we reach up into the left arm. Breathing from the right hand to the left. And as you exhale, releasing that hand back down, begin to bend the right knee and stretch into the left leg. So really opening up the inner groin there. And then coming back forward, turning around, so you're facing the front of your mat and the top of your mat again. And then this time we're going to I forgot what I was going to do. Step back. Let's step back. Back into downward facing. Little wag of the tail. And then lifting the heels high, dropping the knees out wide and to the floor. Bring the big toes together and drop the buttocks down towards the heels as you just stretch those hands out in front of you. You can drop the forearms, the elbows to the floor, and also your forehead, and just take a little bit of time here, perhaps flowing from side to side, or, you know, a little rocking, or maybe just in stillness, following the breath in and out of the body. Deep breath into the back body. Use the exhalation through the mouth. Release any deeply held tension in the back. So you might like to do that again, repeat it. And then slowly we come up, walking our hands back into our knees. I'm going to turn around so you can see me. I'm going to swing the feet out to the side, just so the left foot now comes into the inner thigh of the right leg. And if you need to do it the other way around, it's absolutely okay. You know, just we'll do one side and then the other. Hands out to either side, lengthen through your spine. Take an inhale as you ride the breath up the spine. And as you exhale, just let that right hand come to the left knee and begin to turn towards the back, looking over your left shoulder. Left hand just behind and out to the side of that left hip. Breathing perhaps into the neck and the shoulder. Finding your own way here to pacify the body, to release any tension. Take an inhale there, and as you exhale, just releasing out of there. And simply straightening that right leg. So now the left foot is still in the inner thigh of the right leg. The right leg is now straight. You might like to place that left hand on the inner edge of the knee and begin to align your body so it's looking over that right leg. The leg is really in line with the hip, so it's not out to the side, as is a variation of Janu Sirsasana. So lengthen up as you root your sit bones down. We lengthen up through the central channel. That right hand can be in support behind you to help with this very minor twist that needs to go on, the rotation in the spine to look over that foot. Take an inhale. Right up the spine, and as you exhale, you can just simply fold. Hands can come wherever they like, and you can just work on this seated forward fold in your own way. Feel into the body where there is resistance and difficulty. Take a breath into the area and see if each inhalation you can find a little bit of space in the tight areas. And each exhalation, just releasing that tension out of the body so there can be a softening and a deepening. Doesn't matter if there isn't those things, this is just that we work towards it. Conscious breathing, consciously and continually letting go, letting go, letting go. We do what we can and then we let it go. Take an inhale as you come back up carefully. And then you're going to tuck that right foot in as the left foot comes back behind you, sits alongside the hip there. And we're in the other side. So if you've been doing it the other way, that's okay. Again, hands out to the side and take the inhalations right up the spine to align there. And then the exhale brings that left hand to the right knee and the right hand behind you as you look over the right shoulder. Close your eyes and breathe steadily and deeply into the body and into the pose. Begin to become aware of the resistance, the difficulties that the body is having with this. And breathe your loving attention and awareness into the areas of struggle. Compassionate heart is helpful. Really, the letting go, softening aspect in twist is more helpful than the doing aspects. Take one more breath. And as you exhale, just slowly unwind. Straightening that left leg out. So the right foot is still in line with the inner thigh. You can bring your right hand onto the inner knee. It's a little reminder, a little pressing that will help this rotation as well. Come over that front leg and that left hand just behind us to keep the heart aligned with the front and leading leg or aligned with the hips. Take an inhale, reaching and lengthening up. You might even like to reach and lengthen into your back of your leg, into your heel. And then as you exhale, just leading down the heart and folding to wherever is available to you. And tuck the chin in and close the eyes and just use some deepened breaths to explore and discover what's available, what is challenging you, and to support the areas of difficulty with a compassionate and kind breath. One more conscious breath. And then use that next inhale to find your way back up. And the exhalation to bring the soles of the feet together. I had a few things that I really wanted to wind down and finish with, but that's not going to happen because we really have run out of time. So hopefully next week we might do less salute and more of these last minute peaceful practices. You might like to bring your hands onto your knees. You could draw your knees together as you roll down, or you could roll down with the knees apart and just take 3 breaths with the body in Supta Konasana. This is with the knees wide and the feet together, laying down. Breathe into your hips, into your pelvis. And then when you're ready, you can press those feet together, draw the knees into the center, and then just allow the feet, one foot at a time, to head towards the corner of the bottom of the mat, and then the other corner of the mat. and just allow your feet to completely rest. Don't let anything touch the body, and if you need to put a blanket on, don't wrap yourself up like a mummy. Let the body feel completely free and able to release and to spread and to let go. You may like to hook into the breath, but in particular, into your peaceful exhalations. Staying, breathing, and releasing. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. O Divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in the giving that we receive, it is in the pardoning that we are pardoned, and it is in the dying that we are born to eternal life. So just gently beginning to awaken, maybe breathing more deeply into the body. Letting the body guide you into bringing yourself back. And as you're ready, rolling onto a side. Closing the eyes again and bringing the hands into prayer at the heart. And we will just close together with the beautiful mantra, Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti is the Sanskrit word for peace. If you like, you can bring your hands to your forehead, to your lips, and to your heart as we say this. So we inhale together. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May there be peace within you, peace surrounding you, and peace for everyone. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining this morning. And I'd just like to say that the prayer was a prayer, a Christian prayer that I love dearly and say regularly. I think it's beautiful, from the lovely St. Francis of Assisi. And if you want to submerge yourself a little more, I would recommend you find this prayer online and learn it and say it regularly. It's such a beautiful prayer and a beautiful offering. It's taken me a long time to get around back to the Christian stuff, and some of it really has a lot of value. So peace be with you, and have a beautiful week and a peaceful week, and enjoy the new moon energy. And we'll see you for our last class in this series next week. Bye.